育てていきませんか。あなたの顔が少し寂しそうだ。ジョークの一つでも言えたらな。溢れる気持ちに戸惑っては何度もしたためるラブレター。いつまで丸めて捨ててるの。目と目合えば不思議なもんで無理して笑ってもバレてしまうな。はい、多分 the way that I've been told. But will it really make me happy? Now I realize my breath has started to freeze. I'm in the middle of a blizzard, I can feel the pressure. Your eyes encased around my heart, the beats the only measure of even knowing I'm alive can turn this pain to pleasure. Before I shut my down, I shut the door for good. There's a wall that's towering over me. If I try to climb it, will I succeed? Oh, 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 oh. I'll find the truth deep inside. Life is in my hands, so no need to pray. 'Cause I'm ready now for the judgment day. Oh, 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 oh. It's gonna be mine to pay. No one else gets to decide. 'Cause the future's only.
We have never left.
Not for a single second. I don't even want to. The smug energy radiating from chat. I don't even want to see it.
Music Mark, hashtag Music Mark Sweet.
Already. Come on now.
ALX, we are never doing Mark again. He's hard bad, he sucks. Also ALX, Mark Month sequel, The Return of Mark.
Okay, first off, we've never said that we're never going to do Mark again. That is a physical impossibility. Number two, this is not Mark Month. This is a video of Mark.
ALX says they won't do it and then still do it. We're not doing Music Mark.
No, this is we didn't say we wouldn't do this. I said that might call an audible, see what BG thinks. And then here we are.
It's time to face your fears. The bot's already on. I see that Mark is in that trig tier of same day revisits. Glad you recognize the greatness. Grab the popcorns, folks. This is going to be a long stream. No, still short. Still only 2.5, 3, because DA needs to get these out.
Time is running out, y'all.
He's got to do.
Yep,
MF304 says, LETSSSGOO Mask Man encourage for Mark Month. Let go Music Mark.
No, there's no Music Mark. What do you think of Peel Off Gang? They're fine.
Mask Man. I like them more in Dragon Ball.
It's that easy to unban people? Yeah, always with us. We're hypocrites if nothing else.
Mark was never banned.
I think he was hard banned at one point.
I don't think he was. I don't think I would hard ban.
Nami the Goat says, hashtag Mark Sweet.
This is the first time.
This is what I hate. Every time with these animals.
This is the first time I'll be able to watch the entire stream. You don't need to.
Yeah,
have fun doing
fine.
something else, anything else. No creator is truly banned from ALX.
Who banned Mark?
Aside from Anime Wins. No, Anime Wins is still probably going to be shown. Like 20 people were banned and never see a repeat from them. We still do. Richie Rich over here, bias gambling, hashtag back to Mark. How many points? Music Mark Sweet. We're close to being done with Dragon Ball books.
Oh, it's deep.
They finally did it.
I knew that was the number. I knew it.
Oh, it's deep.
Thank you for the super chat, Hope. Indeed, demon time.
I knew it.
Yeah, no, of course. Well, why would it be any other number? Thank you for the 445. It's the only way that plays. It is 100% play on that number.
Ares1 says, Salad Mark T23.
What?
The worst. Not even a minute I could get through.
BG might not be scamming. It was never a scam. A bunch of people looking at their points, and we're basically caught up. Yay, I caught a stream. Why are everybody celebrating and caught a stream? Get the out, everybody.
I hate it. Like I was about to say, I wish I could just woo up and just like, hey, we're doing a Mark stream, and it just be something else just to see the disappointment. That
just
would
start with music, Mark.
Yes, and then just switch to something else.
Play like 2 minutes of it, of us talking about it, just like, nah.
Since
Goal.
you're doing Mark 1, Mark Month have one thing to say. You could not live with your own failures, and where did that bring you? Back to me.
This is no Mark
I
month.
hate this.
Let's get the names out. Let's get ready to
stream.
It's
It's gonna be more than one, obviously.
Yes.
But
what's up, Dutch? One True King, Hope, Devin, Aries, Don, Raul, Priscilla, Blaze, Maria, Varia, Triton, Alola. I'm gonna say that's Alola. Buster,
Wolf.
Jiva. God, it's getting hot again. Carlo. We're Curry. We're almost there. Diolando. I kind of like that name. Ulysses. Robinson. Victory Greymon.
This was a mistake.
The last DSP screen, I won almost 2.5 million scam bucks.
Yes, that was a lot of scam bucks.
This is a mistake.
Thank you for the super chat, Nami the GOAT. We will not unban Mark. Thank you very much. Because one, I don't think he was ever banned.
Seriously?
And two, we're not doing Mark Month, so shut up.
Mark Month is banned.
I hope there's music Mark somewhere around here. What are we doing?
No!
What's up, Pico?
Music Mark
Bored.
is banned. Paneling Mark is banned. Those two videos, never.
Yeah, you can keep the door open when you come back. Adrian, Nami. And we are, Hongers, and we are all caught up. JCJ, welcome to the bum. It's such a your energy.
Ooh, I'm glad that's off.
Coward. So, of course, we can't do a Dragon Ball month without doing something for Mark. And originally we had two videos planned, one centering around Vegeta, one centering around Trunks. And an hour ago, 2 hours ago, he released the first part of his epic ultimate Dragon Ball Z review, which he's been talking about for quite a while. So we pivoted. So
Nami the GOAT says, did you bums power go out to SMH Detroit?
no, neither my job or our house went out.
Yeah, that big storm, it was only here for like a couple minutes and then it was gone.
Yeah, very lucky. Or for the people that didn't have their power go out. Other people, woof. Description boys.
DBZ was the ultimate anime for me as a kid! !
Aries 1 says, please inject music Mark into my veins musical notes.
No. Music Mark is banned. Y'all must be mistaken about something. And the Saiyan Saga was my first introduction to what would become a lifelong obsession. I adore this story and want to pour my heart and passion. I want to pour my heart into a passion project like this for so long. I hope you have fun watching this love letter to the adventures of Goku, Krillin, Piccolo, Gohan as they try to defeat the evil Napa and the heinous Vegeta. Support us on Patreon and all that good stuff.
This feels like one of those things where Mark is truly about to do something he wants to do,
Yes.
as opposed to a lot of his blind reviews, where it's, I have to because this is the series I'm doing currently. Yeah, let's just get into it.
I've never reviewed Dragon Ball Z, and it's not by accident. On YouTube, I'm known as the guy that's reviewed One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, and...
Are you?
Are you known
I
as the-
suppose you're known as a guy,
Yeah.
but if you want to get into it, I don't know who else has reviewed
Each arc like that.
Well, the Nin Show podcast, which we've talked about. Yeah. Okay. He can hold that title, I guess.
Buster says, unpause the video.
It's
This is what we do. All right.
many other popular series. I've even written multi-hour-long in-depth reviews for the likes of Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, all of the films, and because I valued my sanity, I also covered classic Dragon Ball. All of these excursions were massive projects that literally and figuratively took me to my creative and at times physical limits.
How did it take you to your creative limits? Now, I can understand physical if you're just like, I have to get this out at a certain time, so I'm staying up an extra 4 hours to read the entirety of this manga. But as far as creativity, you're reading something, you're understanding what you want to say, and then you're saying the thing. There will be no cooking.
Something like, maybe it's just like, oh, look at them, they're doing Tai Chi here. Tai Chi originated back in the whatever. But even what is
that's not creative?
I know, but what's the creative limit? What does he mean by that? Did he learn some new? I was going to say some sort of new editing technique, but he doesn't edit. Did he change the way that
maybe he means in the way that it forced him to be able to articulate his thoughts as opposed to just, this is a feeling I have. This is gonna push me to actually express those feelings a way that
he did not do that in Super.
I'm just saying.
We watched Super Broly. He did not do that.
I'm just saying what it could have been. Mark using all of his creativity for music. Mark.
Limits I was pushing past so that someday I could make this video. The final Dragon Ball review series that's been 5 years in the making, a series I've saved for the very end because it's where my career began. Get excited and strap in.
No.
Again, I can't believe I got into a discussion with someone that said Mark does not like Dragon Ball. He's not high on Dragon Ball.
Who said that?
I was in an argument with somebody. They were saying that Mark was praising the Fullbring arc, and that just shows that if you're away from the discourse, those people will be positive on it. Because they were a Bleach fan. I'm like, Mark's positive on everything. Thank you for this super chat, Napa and Go.
My goodness.
Always demon time.
Hashtag unban Mark. Hashtag unban Trigger. Hashtag unban Dritz. No.
No, Mark is...
Yeah, that's why I know. Because there's no ban on Mark.
You should put hashtag unban music Mark. In which case, no.
Folks, because this is going to be my longest and most in-depth analysis to date, where I will push even further beyond the
What limits, Mark? We need to establish that.
for all of you over the next month. The finale.
To be fair, Mark's opinions are so out there and unexplained, you start to question what he does. Like,
turn around.
To a series I'm convinced is so much better than millions give it credit for, and finally talk about...
Who are these millions?
No.
Who are these millions?
Okay, he must be thinking that, no, Dragon Ball is good, it's fun, I like it. And he's like, no. It's great. It's better than what you guys give it.
Okay. Sort of like if somebody did some deep analysis on Transformers.
Yeah. No. Triggered is hard banned. Don't worry about that.
My childhood favorite. I hope you're sitting down because this is everything I've got. I'm Mark Fitzpatrick, and this is quite simply a story that needs no such introduction. I am, of course, talking about the global phenomenon, the instantly iconic, and the...
Instantly iconic.
I don't know what that means. I don't think we've ever heard the combination of those words.
Dude, what do we... We have never, for a second, left.
It's just one continuous video. Never left. Needs no introduction. Section introduction.
exceptionally exciting.
By the way, thanks for ruining the word iconic for me. We didn't ruin it. People overusing it ruined it. We just made you aware of it.
You're welcome.
When I was a kid, I could never get into the world of Dragon Ball
Neo
because there's
Arcadia
nothing really
says,
to it.
Instantly iconic in my objective opinion.
Akira Toriyama's Dragon Ball Z.
Mid. Fight me.
The opening of Dragon Ball mid, sir?
Mid.
No, sir. Please.
Don all the way
Don is
to the top, as it were.
Don.
Chapter 1. The Saiyan Saga.
Was
it really only 50 chapters?
Yeah,
Wow,
absolutely.
that is short.
Toriyama has said before that Toyotaro needs to shorten a lot of the things he shows and says to make it snappier. Toriyama is very much a get to the
catalyst, man.
Yeah,
you would
oh,
say?
absolutely.
I see.
Get to the thing. If something could be explained in 3 pages, it can actually be explained in 1.2 pages.
MF304 says, Super Ultra Instinctly Dragon Size Goku, hashtag Instinctly to the top.
To the top.
Spirit Saiyan.
Spirit Saiyan Goku.
As first acts go, this introduction is second to none in Dragon Ball, no matter which arc you're talking about.
Pause. Does it mean something if somebody just rocks up and just like, you're an alien? Is it really? Oh my goodness, it's a big revelation. How could we have possibly known?
As Americans, as people in the Western audience that has not consumed the original Dragon
Even
Ball.
back in Dragon Ball, you just go, oh, he can turn into a monkey.
Yeah.
But then
That's
there's a
weird.
dog president.
Yeah.
So is he also an alien?
What is Pilaf? What is
Or
Piccolo?
are there just freaks in this world? Piccolo, legitimately. So it's just like, oh, they're just freaks. No, he's actually an alien. Oh, okay. I guess it was just like, oh, I found this kid in the mountains. So that could have just been an alien. That could have been a child abandoned. Could have been anything.
I like Shala.
Get out of here.
It's classic.
Get banned.
Dragon Soul is the best opening.
Dragon Soul is better than Chala. I have not heard a version of Dragon Soul, and there's like 50 of them that's worse than Chala. Get out of here.
Host says, when I was a kid, I was always confused that they show Goku's literal brother and they just gloss over him once he's died and never mention him again.
Yeah, no, he's not.
They mention him one more
King
time
Kong
when
says,
Goku dies.
I'm your brother. No, I won't give you any evidence.
You know, Lil Finn, what? And he just rocks up and just like, your name is Kakarot. Like, why should I believe you at all? He could have just been lying. Vegeta could rock up next to him just like, what up, brother? I'm your daddy, actually. Who's to call him a liar?
Yeah, who's left?
Prove that I'm not. Vegeta says.
Not like being an alien really matters to Goku besides the transformation.
It doesn't really matter because he doesn't care about the Saiyans. He's not trying to avenge them. He's not trying to uphold the pride of the Saiyans. He knows nothing about them. It's just a race of people that you just so happen to be. I'm African American. I come from apparently Africans. I don't give about Africa. I'm not trying to learn about Kenya. I don't care. So somebody just went, you're actually a third generational Kenyan prince. I'm like, whatever. What does that do for me? Nothing. Keep it rocking.
Better than anything GT, Super, and even early Dragon Ball offered. This first step into this arc is packed to bursting with so much lore, swerves, rug pulls, reintroductions, introductions, stipulations, strategies, techniques, old and new, and sets up what's to come in such a perfect way that I will probably gush at numerous points in this video uncontrollably as to why it is so damn good and 100% that bitch. Case in point, Goku's spiky older brother, Raditz. So yeah, Goku's an alien, and Toriyama is a weird but very fun writer when it comes to this fly by the seat of your pants type writing style.
Don't excuse the nonsense.
Yeah,
because
it's fun.
Then y'all get to boo, and it's like, well, everything feels so fly by the seat of your pants.
That's bad, but this is good. No, Goku's just an alien. Okay.
Unlike series such as One Piece or Attack on Titan, which have justifiably been...
Is the Vegeta-Bulma relationship worse than Sasu-Saku and Groovia?
Yes.
No. Not Sasuke-Saku.
I can say something that Sakura likes about Sasuke.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say anything either likes about either of them. Vegeta and Bulma.
What does Sakura like about Sasuke?
He's hot. Bulma has not commented on Vegeta's looks maybe once. That's why I say it's worse. I can see Sakura and Sasuke having a conversation. I don't know what these two people talk about.
I can't see them having a conversation. Honestly.
You can see them talking about ninja stuff.
I honestly can't.
You really?
I honestly can't. I honestly can't.
Hey, you're a ninja.
I honestly can't see Sasuke coming down to the dinner table and Sakura being like, "How was your journey?" And he explained his journey and the things he did, and they have a conversation about it. I honestly can't see.
I can see that.
Their clear vision they progress through the story with, Dragon Ball is sort of the opposite in pretty much every respect. Toriyama's a massive fan of injecting comedy into his manga, and that's fitting because this dude pretty much improvised an entire story that turned into one of the cultural touchstones of my generation. No big deal. And while proceeding in that fashion...
I think that it is a big deal. I think that you should have some kind of plan or direction about where you're going, just so you can plant the seeds, instead of just going, here's Frieza. Okay.
It feels a lot like Toriyama had overviews of plot points he wants to hit. Very old school wrestling type of promos where these are the bullet points, hit these, and then anything else you do in between doesn't really matter to us as long as you hit, mention the pay-per-view, mention your opponent, the accomplishments they've had, the accomplishments you've had, and then everything else, I don't care.
Because the improvisational style just... the camera just keeps getting pulled back. God is Kami. Well, actually, he reports to King Yama. And King Yama, well, he can, there's King Kai. And then King Kai, he's one of 4 Kais. And then they're governed by a Kai. And then that Kai is governed by a Supreme Kai. And there used to be 4 Supreme Kais. And it's just, the camera just gets pulled back further and further and further because it's just like, well, there's gods and then there's gods governing over gods. And then we don't know what not jurisdiction, but we don't know exactly what they do. He just sort of governs over them. Why do we need a Supreme Kai to govern over them when we got a Grand Kai?
Yeah, do you create multi-year plans for a 9-to-5 job? No, Toriyama has been a 9-to-5 mangaka for a minute now. He don't care. He literally forgot launch existed.
I guess. But you would expect more, especially considering this is his 2nd series. This is more action oriented at this point. It's story driven as opposed to Dr. Slump, which was mostly comedy. So you would think he'd be like, where am I going with this? Raditz, here's Raditz. Raditz is 12,000, I think he was, and then 1200. And Goku's max was 800 or so. Krillin was said to be
Neo
300
Arcadia
or something
says
like that.
980.
So
Angel Essence Goku, Dragon Instinct Goku, Spirit Saiyan Goku, Primal Instinct Goku.
Dutch, thank you for the super chat. Say something next time, you bum.
I don't think you can with a $1 or lower.
You can. No, I'm not sure. No, that's stupid. Why is that? That's stupid.
Because it'd be too much spam, I guess.
No, that's stupid. I don't care.
That's fine. But Toriyama just like Krillin's around 200 or 300, so he has to get 3 times stronger. So now he's just Raditz level in a year.
BG makes sure this Momi doesn't go to Phil or Logan Paul.
That's fair.
I will. Let me see if I can buy a Prime on Amazon.
Why would you buy Prime?
Just to spite Dutch.
He's scamming everyone. He's legit scamming people.
I know. They're expensive. I'll get one on Monday and I'll take a picture of it.
Is unorganized and has its downsides I will absolutely be getting into later, there are some upsides that really gave this serise an energy that otherwise...
Ares1 says, Music Mark is the most iconic YouTuber. Maybe one day he will review Rock City Boys.
My worst nightmare. He could probably hit Fairy Tail one day.
Would you want him to?
No, of course not.
Because here's the thing. Somebody else, when I was talking to that person, they commented that Mark really feels like he tries to draw the positives out of whatever he's reviewing, even if he doesn't really like it or think it's any good. I think he would try to draw a lot of the positives out of that bush. Mm-hmm.
He's scamming right in front of us.
Who's they? I ain't buy nothing.
Absolutely be getting into later, there are some upsides that really gave this series an energy that otherwise couldn't have existed without it. In the same way,
okay, but an energy that can be but is that worth it if you lose? Because at any point anything could happen. You're just like, the spontaneity of it.
Cowboy Bebop has an energy that if it was something different, it wouldn't be Cowboy Bebop. Of course, these series that are prevalent have some form of energy that would be completely a different story if you took that energy and made it something else. You can't do Dragon Ball with the energy of a Trigun. It's just not gonna work. You can't do One Piece with the energy of a Yu Yu Hakusho. It's just not gonna work. Or it's gonna work, it's just gonna be something different.
Prime Ice Pop is the one that I had, and it's quite good.
Of course.
Gets giddy when a comedian quickly claps back at a heckler in the crowd. We as readers of Dragon Ball can appreciate the chaotic blitz.
How could you not find D.L. Hughley, editor? How you doing? Oh, wait, that wasn't the heckler. That was just, well, you can still.
Yeah, it's that time.
Oh, yeah, it's that time. You know, close your mouth and shut your eyes and beat the shit out of me. It was the night. It was hitting him.
It just kept hitting him over and
Off
over.
topic, but back to the wrestling thing. Is it legal to bet on scripted events?
Absolutely. They do DraftKings pools of who's going to win, who's going to get the first pinfall, who's going to hit their finisher first. Is anybody going to kick out of their finisher? DraftKings does that for WWE, AEW, I think Ring of Honor. I don't think they do it for New Japan nor Total Joshi Pro Wrestling.
Now, I think the legality thing comes in. Like John Cena was wrestling. He knew he was going to win. He calls up his friend like, hey, yo, I'm going to win. Bet all on me.
Yeah, I don't think anybody, but that's just the same thing with football players. Their friends could place a bet and they could just go, I'm going to stop short of the 1 yard line so I don't get this touchdown or something. Anything can happen.
The claps back at a heckler in the crowd. We as readers of Dragon Ball can appreciate the chaotic blitzkrieg of creative choices that takes place in Dragon Ball, and no opening to an arc better exemplifies the upsides of this approach than the kickoff to Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, how do people that have issues with expository dialogue not see this as legitimately a chapter or two of Raditz just saying, hey, here's everything going on.
Thank you, Dragon Ball, for making Shonen and Gravity.
Gravity.
Like, take this one for example. For pages and pages following Raditz's reveal, he bellows about the lack of work produced by this, quote, Kakarot. We've never heard of this person's name before, so we assume it's a new character. We wonder to ourselves, who the hell is he talking about? And right as he's leaving his first encounter with Piccolo, we get this panel. And with that one panel, Toriyama single-handedly turned the entire Dragon Ball world onto its head. I can see it now, the collective mind.
Okay, you can turn things on their head, but does that make it good? It's in Bleach, if it just went, Ichigo, you've always been a ghost. You've always been a hollow. You've always been dead. And that would turn things on their head, but what does it mean? Is it any good?
If Bulma was just like, it's time for me to show off my robotic parts and start fighting, and then she just powered up and was stronger than Goku, that would turn everything on his head.
And she was the villain. That would turn things on her head.
Of millions.
We true Dragon Ball fans can enjoy the nonsense of the series and claim its genius.
The entire Dragon Ball world onto its head. I can see it now, the collective minds of millions across Japan being blown.
Is there any evidence of this?
He's just assuming. But it's a big plot revelation, so I gotta assume that, yes, I'm sure they were just like, whoa, Goku's an alien. But that's essentially where it stops and starts, because Goku don't care. He quickly says that he does not care. It doesn't factor into his story whatsoever. At that
it wasn't built up to, and while he likely never planned for Dragon Ball to take this particular course in the first place, he also tends to leave his story's fringes vague when he doesn't know what to write down. And honestly, that restraint, that ability to not feel like he has to have all the answers all the time, that might be one of the secret ingredients to this series.
I ain't got the answer. Genius!
Yeah.
It's the secret sauce!
I will fill those holes in later. And I'll fill it with something. I don't know. It's going to get something filled in. How did Cell get back from the future? There was an alternate Trunks because, timelines and everything. I don't know where that Trunks was going back to. but he certainly was going back to some kind of a past. And then he was killed, and then Cell got here. What of it?
It's just a reveal that recontextualizes the main character. Why is this something special for Dragon Ball? And once every story has at least one of these. He barely reacted to him killing his grandfather, which even as a kid I found strange. I know he was in a fight, but I expected a bit more.
G scamming technique is a passive ability. That's why he keeps scamming us. He's not even aware of it.
There are no scams.
It's a passive
Kishimoto
stand.
learned from Toriyama with the random aliens.
Yeah,
says,
Kishi did kind of.
Toriyama be cooking with that sauce he found at the back of the fridge. He doesn't know what it is, but it's delicious, surely.
Surely.
Blade's writer says,
Is this the sauce
that's the same as J.J. Abrams' mystery box.
Yeah, JJ does that all the time. Lost was predicated on, we'll just answer this bush later.
We'll figure it out later. Oh, you remember where Hurley picked up that pen? Oh, that was really important.
Let's flash back to it so you know what it was. And now flash to the present so you know why it's important.
And then he unfurled that, and then it had a map inside of the pen. And that's why and that's how he gets to the place that he gets to. Isn't that... Jesus. I've never seen Lost, I'm just assuming. Is there somebody named Hurley? I think that there is.
Yeah. He's, of course, the big fat dude.
Big fat person.
Hey, you're very close to what Lost does.
Oh, no!
You're very close. You're very close to what happens in Lost.
Yeah, the FNAF box where
Neo Arcadia says,
Scott Cawthon's
one of you bums gift me a membership, please.
There is no targeted gifting.
Yeah, they'd have to drop a bomb and you just be like me.
GA honest question. Was the IRS hounding you because BG falsified his income and didn't report his scam bucks?
That ain't got nothing to do with me. He didn't claim me as a dependent. He got his own audit issues. I'm over here and I'm throwing my hands up. I'm like, I'm all legal and above board, sir.
Ironically, it doesn't bloat any of the narrative. It's all for the purpose of keeping the project streamlined, certainly, but
efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Right back to the efficiency stuff. I don't care if something is bloated if the bloat is good. I don't care if something you feel should take 3 chapters takes 8 chapters. If those extra 5 chapters of content was worthwhile entertainment, good, whatever it was that helped with the story. I do not care about streamline.
also doesn't cut off any options for him when he wants to take them. I mean, he introduces Goku in the very first arc of Dragon Ball, and people immediately start to ask about his tail. But Goku and Toriyama, they answer honestly about it by not really giving that much information, because they don't really know. And that works because it isn't important to the story, and while this does have its downsides, what this more lax approach offers the series is a unique flexibility to jump from a kung fu adjacent genre to a sudden sci-fi galactic epic in...
Pause. But is that a good switch? Is it? It's absolutely, like we said, it's absolutely fine to just have, hey, here's this weird P-Lock, and he's got a talking dog assistant, whatever. And it's like, here's just this boy with a tail. Now it's just, oh, space person.
Hey, there's the leader of the bunny gang. He's a bunny. Okay.
Is Dragon Ball made better by knowing that Toriyama's just like, yeah, Tien, he has alien blood in him? Is that better because now it's changed the status quo?
Feels too drastic.
Yeah,
it goes from
a little bit of a lead up or something.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't so much as jump the shark as jump the ocean the shark was in. Why can't people say they like a series just because they like it? Why does it have to be this in-depth analysis BS? People always have to draw a little bit more out of the series they love to be able to explain why they love it so hard. And sometimes it is going to be some analysis that's worthwhile, something that makes you think, an angle you've never heard of, or something that articulates your own feelings about a series that you weren't able to do yourself. And a lot of times it's just, hey, it doesn't need to be this, but it's awesome.
Especially when there's talking pig in Dragon Ball. I never asked why Goku had a tail. Yeah. And then they just go, yeah, we went to transformation school. Okay. Whatever.
Mark is legitimately looking at art from a Marvel movie community mindset. And it's kind of bad, though, because if an author plants a seed and just throws it away later, then that's just a dried up seed. And that's what happened with the tail until Toriyama decided Alien. especially when he's talking. You already did that one.
Oh, I don't think that it's a planet number C because it's just a thing. Like I said, it's just a thing in the world.
Yeah, that just goes unexplained.
Pilaf's is just a little gremlin. There are weirdo people in this world, and Goku's just a weirdo person with a tail that can turn into a monkey. That's a perfectly acceptable explanation when there's the world that is established in such a way that there are just freaks.
Fu adjacent genre to a sudden sci-fi galactic epic in the snap of his fingers.
But that's not a positive, really.
Because at any point in time, an alien could just come down, and then hey, now we just got aliens. You can do
One Piece's head.
You can do that. You can make a comedy and then just an alien comes down and just go, okay, now we're just sci-fi. You can. There is no real skill in doing that.
Why do you have a tail? 200 chapters later, because you're an alien.
Oh.
Literally one chapter of transition and it's seamless. You accept it immediately because of course he's an alien. He transforms into a giant monkey.
Because what doubt could you have? If they said that Tien was an alien, what doubt could you have? It's like, no, he's not. What are the parameters for aliens in this world? He says he's an alien. He's got a tail. You go, okay, he is.
Puar is an alien.
By Mark's logic, Naruto going from ninjas to aliens is a great thing. People sure love that.
I don't know how Mark felt about that. I wonder how he felt about that.
Yeah, but Puar is just a talking cat that flies. Is it an alien? Is it just a cat that talks that flies?
Mark is just going, you accept it because you can't deny it because what evidence do you have against it?
In Mark's channel description, he says his English teacher wasn't happy with him analyzing Dragon Ball Z instead of King Lear, but if this was the quality of the analysis, that English teacher had a point. He did say this is like the culmination of his ability to stretch his creativity. So maybe back in the day, he wasn't big on that. There are literal werewolves in Dragon Ball. Mark, are we forgetting that?
And yes,
he wasn't he a man wolf where he was a werewolf, but then when he saw the moon, he turned into a man?
Yeah, something like that.
And he just is.
It's accepting that we accept the alien aspect because this is a just weird world that we accept there's weird things in it. So aliens just sounds totally fine. I wouldn't accept aliens in like Yu Yu Hakusho because that's not the world that was crafted. It's not a super weird world. There's a regular world and there's a world of demons. And then all of a sudden there's just like, no, there's also aliens. No, that doesn't connect.
it's a monkey, not an ape. Apes don't have tails.
Ooga booga strong monkey.
And speaking of monkeys,
We have never, for a single solitary
have you heard
second.
of Team 4-Star? Do you know that they did a Dragon Ball?
and we talk about the introduction of Son Gohan for 1 second. But first, let me talk to you all about another galactic tale, one with awesome battles, amazing graphics, and extra cute anime girls if that's your thing. This is the global hit space fantasy RPG, Honkai Star Rail. From the creators of Genshin Impact, this free-to-play game sees you embark on a...
Now, why? If you made Genshin Impact, why do anything else? That is just money coming to you.
Because the people that want Genshin have Genshin. But the people that don't want Genshin have nothing that's like Genshin, but in the thing that they want.
I guess it's like, hey, this is Space Genshin. And if you're a space person...
planet-hopping adventure aboard the Astral Express, where you'll encounter a stunningly rendered host of awesome characters to build your team with as you trailblaze across this meticulously constructed...
And this looks like a turn-based RPG. So if that's the case, I can see people being like, I'm in for that aspect as opposed to a Genshin thing. We've already done the parody thing. Next April Fool's Day is totes different. Eventually we'll run out of ideas.
sci-fi world. Available on both mobile and PC, this game sports insane visuals on both platforms. Thanks to its top-tier cinematography and animation direction, whether it's cutscenes or the amazing special effects in combat, every moment is a genuine audio-visual feast.
Oh yeah, this is 100% a turn-based RPG. I might play this.
Oh my goodness.
And with the release of this video, you can now
I
pick
love-
up 2 new limited 5-star characters. First up is Blade, a powerful swordsman with the ability to obliterate enemies at the cost of his own.
Stop
Maybe
naming
I
your
won't.
characters with a sword blade.
Maybe I won't
Stop
play
it!
this. Maybe I won't.
HP. The more damage he takes, the higher damage he deals. Next is Kafka, a terrifying antagonist with a close connection to the main character. This ruthless katana-wielding killer is one of the game's most anticipated characters. And with the release of the 1.2 update,
I don't
you'll be
know
able to
these
experience
people.
so many fascinating turning points as the game reaches the climax of its current story arc. There's never been a better time to get started, and if you're new, you can use my link down below to download this game
Do I
to get
get
your
some
hands
sort
on
of
an extra
crystals
50
or
stellar
gems?
J's. Just use my promo code on the screen right now or scan my QR code and you're good to go. Once again, my link's in the description and it's entirely free.
This is not. You didn't do the thing before, so this
That's
isn't.
fine.
This doesn't make the sense.
It's fine.
Hey, I'm in for turn-based JRPGs. I just want more of them. And if there's a way I can help it be successful without giving it money, I will do the thing because I want more turn-based RPGs in the AAA and AA space. Tired of Final Fantasy being action. Tired of it.
Can we play this?
I think it's clear that Toriyama wanted him to be as different from his
Hi
father as he...
Zalgonix says. No. That's how they catch you and steal your money.
I didn't say. Did I?
Maybe.
I don't remember. A lot of things. It's lost to history.
I think it's clear that Toriyama wanted him to be as different from his father.
Why is he just going into Gohan without saying the name Gohan? Why didn't he say?
He did before
When?
the break. He said, "Now it's time to get into Gohan." I love the introduction.
Didn't
of
you?
Gohan.
You should have waited. Thanks for the iconic ad, Mark.
Angel
What
Essence
the
Goku,
is a
Dragon
run?
Instinct Goku, Spirit Saiyan Goku, Primal Instinct Goku.
Thank you for the super cat, Harry.
Of 10 runs. That sounds fake. I'm sorry for insulting wherever you're from.
It is so weird how
Romanian.
multinational our fan base is in Romania. What are y'all doing? What are you doing over
I
here?
knew that Romanian currency was called a RON. Okay, I've learned something today. Thank you for the knowledge as well.
As he could possibly muster, which, importantly and interestingly, is a vital aspect of the story that informs not just his role in this arc, but for the most part informs a lot of the story that he will ultimately tell in this series. But as introductions to a character and as introductions to this general idea, broadly speaking, goes, I don't think it could have been handled any better. It isn't often we get to watch a main character grow up and then
He
be
rocked up with a kid, and the kid is here. Wait.
Then the kid screamed, got mad, and hit the Raditz.
How could it have been done worse? It's just done. Here's my kid. Oh, wait, you banged?
All right, we got a Romanian, we got an Ireland,
Crazy.
somebody in Europe. That's your problem, Mark. You don't think.
Shadowed by their children, mostly due to that offspring always on some level being compared to their fathers and never living up to them. And while there is an element of this
Brazil,
in Gohan, it's that very
UK,
element that makes him as fascinating as he otherwise ends up becoming. Acting
Somali?
as a simultaneously highlights Goku's strengths and eventually his weaknesses. And to achieve such a sophisticated character, Akira Toriyama wrote Gohan to be, in almost every area of his character's personality, the total opposite to Goku. And to see this unique
Japan!
than their introduction,
Except
if we
Nami's
cast our minds
not.
back to the opening of Dragon Ball's first arc for Goku, he's entirely independent, confident, practices martial arts, is incredibly strong, a little rough around the edges when it comes to his manners, and
he's
even
different.
saves
He's different from Goku. There are like two things that you can do. Different from Goku or the same as Goku. And he did the other thing. Or similar to Goku, I should say. Because Goten is more similar to a Goku.
Bulma after their first meeting. Immediately, his role is clear to us. He's a capable hero. But if we look at Gohan's introduction, he's incredibly shy, hides behind his father, doesn't know how to fight, appears helpless.
But wasn't Goku
14,
9
12
or
or 14.
10?
No, he was like
Okay.
12. Well, I think we've had this good discussion before, and the age was
Because I don't remember when he said that if there was a time skip. let's just say he was above the age of 10.
Mm-hmm. 10 or above.
He is 4 years old. That's a big difference in terms of personality, in terms of a character. We don't see Goku as a 4-year-old. Maybe. I don't know how old he was.
No, he was definitely older.
Is polite beyond his years and doesn't save someone, but instead
12.
gets kidnapped himself. This establishes Gohan immediately as an entirely different character and entity to that of his father. But there is something more there than just a helpless crying child. And that search for that hero inside of himself is central to Gohan's entire story in Dragon Ball Z.
Pause. Is he searching to be a hero?
It doesn't seem like it.
Saving the kid on Namek.
525 says, write him to be the total opposite of Goku, and yet Mark and other fans want Gohan to do the big punch like Goku.
They truly do just want him to be Goku.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you're different from Goku, but now we just do the thing now. Let's just get to the thing though. But saving the kid in Namek, that was a struggle because it was just like, we're gonna get caught. Mm-hmm. There was no real struggle in becoming Great Saiyan Man outside of my identity will be revealed. And in that case, what happens? Nothing really. He's just like, yeah, I'm him. I'm that guy. And what other struggle for being a hero?
He was kind of a piece of against Cell and Boo.
Especially since Goku had to survive in the wilderness. Yeah, he essentially grew up by himself. So there's going to be some differences. I don't know. Did they ever say when exactly Grandpa Gohan was killed?
No.
Of course not.
Journey that begins in a stranger's space pod on a grassy, barren field somewhere on Earth as he awaits his heroic father's rescue.
その程度でのこのこやってくるとは。
勝負ってのはただ強きゃいいってもんじゃねえよ。
What's the problem?
Where's this Goku?
What's the problem? Yo, they've got a strategy. Look at.
血には作戦があるんだ。
Goku and Piccolo versus Raditz. That right there was probably my favorite quote from Goku during the Saiyan Saga. On its face, it's a rather innocuous line that speaks to Goku's
really
disagreeing with his
quick
brother's
edit of your
assessment
audio.
of him and his abilities, but for me at least, this one line represents the prevailing theme of not just this arc, but perhaps this entire story.
Mm-hmm.
What is that theme?
We got a strategy. Even if you're bigger and stronger, you can be outplayed by pure
That
force
is
of will.
dead.
Mark Month says,
At the end
in
of
Dragon
the very
Ball we
next
have a wide
month.
diversity of characters. Adults that do big punch, kids that do big punch, aliens that do big punch, nerds that do big punch, perverts that do big punch, and more.
Mm-hmm.
And more. By the end of Namek, that is out the window. Because what strategy is used post then?
Even in Namek, it starts to weave off. Because I guess Raditz versus Vegeta, he was just like, I'll just blast him in the eyes. That was kind of strategy. But outside of that,
Raditz versus Vegeta?
Raditz, Raccoon, sorry. Raditz versus Vegeta.
Raditz is a character that is present in the beginning of this story but is quickly forgotten. However, for me, he represents what is my favorite story told in Dragon Ball. A story of expectations versus reality, nature versus nurture, and allyship versus selfish conquest.
Well, is that one story or three different stories? Is it because he said it represents his favorite story? All three of those things, or what are we talking about? And he's talking about how he likes him because of what he represents, not him as a character or what he does. It's just like he represents nature versus nurture. Can we get all three of those again?
It's what is my favorite story told in Dragon Ball. A story of expectations versus reality.
Pause. Expectations versus reality. Expectations, I guess.
He expected to win, and the reality is these people are stronger.
But how did he lose? What did Gohan do? As he's talking about the theme of Dragon Ball, what did Gohan do? And Goku going, we got a strategy. What did he do? He headbutted him with his overwhelming strength, which gave them the opportunity. What happened to the theme there, Mark?
versus reality, nature versus nurture.
Nature versus nurture.
Raditz was nurtured into this. What?
No, because the nature of all Saiyans seem to be barbaric.
But they're
Harris
not,
one says,
though.
Those are themes of story L. Do research.
How are they not?
Gine.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Is that canon?
Sure. Yeah. Toriyama wrote it
Where?
in Dragon Ball Minus. I'm just saying.
She is a Toriyama woman.
Yes.
She don't
I understand. But I talked about this before. The whole we're just evil. We're all just evil. Shut up. It's dumb.
Sure. Are you gonna hear an argument from your boy? No.
And Raditz is here because he's under Frieza. So that's also nurture.
And allyship versus selfish conquest.
They would have gotten beaten if not for Gohan being the Uwap strong.
Allyship versus selfish conquest. Is Raditz here because he just went, I'm going to handle this on my own, stay away, Vegeta and Napa? Or what do we know about him coming to this planet?
Adrian, all three of the things he said ended with the Namek saga. Allyship versus selfish conquest ended there because there was no longer, hey, we are all ganging up on this person by the end of Namek. It was just Goku, take him out with your Super Saiyan.
Take him out with your big fist.
After that, everybody was just, hey, take him out with the big fist. Except Kid Buu. Nature versus nurture. What could possibly be there after Namek?
Yeah, because we don't know about Frieza's past or anything. The androids were just made with a goal. Is that nature?
I feel like he's gonna really talk about the nature versus nurture theme during the Buu saga with Majin Vegeta, where he goes back to his nature after this nurturing few years.
Shut up!
Oh yeah.
Good thing we'll never get to it.
I spoke on this generally with Toriyama's introduction to Gohan moments ago, but the same is true for Raditz in this fight, and indeed the other Saiyans that make their presence felt later on in the story. They are designed to represent an antithetical ideology and culture to that of Goku in order to highlight his differences.
They're evil, he's good.
I am so tired of these people needing ideological differences for characters, for some type of arc or story to be worthwhile. It truly is. You are coming to our planet to blow it up and take our Dragon Balls, and we want to stop you.
I don't want that. I live on Earth. I have a vested interest in what you're going to do here, sir. Sir, could you not?
Weaknesses, sure, but also indeed his strengths.
I'm just
Even
so
beyond
tired
that,
of stupid shit.
if we look at the Scouter, an iconic piece of tech.
Can we ban the word iconic, please?
If we could have, we would have.
This is 10 minutes in and he said it twice. We are at a 5 iconic per 5 minute ratio.
It's going to get better. What was Vegeta's culture? He did a big punch before getting his butt beat by the Kaioken 3.
Yes, the Saiyan culture of fight monkeys. Totally not Goku.
They're just evil.
There could have been a nature versus nurture theme in the Cell Saga, but Toriyama ignored the possibility.
No, it's in there, and Mark is going to pull it out. Trust me. Because, Super Saiyan 2, Gohan's nature is, because he's a Saiyan, is to be that brutal person. But he was nurtured to be the kind person. I'm explaining it!
Yeah, no, that's all I needed. Thank you. Goku was 12 in the OG Dragon Ball. Goku said he was 14 in the 21st tournament, but he was actually 12 at the time because Goku didn't know how to count right. When he counted, he skipped 12 and 13. 12. So that's why I thought it was 14, because Goku had said it, but he's actually 12 during that time. Okay.
that Raditz introduces to the story. While these metrics are fun to speculate on and mess around with in private,
Your energy. Thank you, Isaiah, for the super chat. Sup, bums? I got here right at the most iconic moment.
Oh my goodness! How? How did that work out like that?
or with friends online. The entire point of the Scouter's introduction with this story is to provide yet another metric by which the Earthlings understand what true power is, and how Raditz and indeed the other forces of Frieza's army are misguided, ironically. That true power comes from manipulation
Ares
of...
1 says, but we need the word iconic. Otherwise, how are we going to describe thing we like?
I suppose so.
He really is stretching the limits of his creative juices by going iconic.
Agreed.
Someone asked, what are the
Jeff J
five...
says, Vegeta is just bigger scaled. Piccolo fight in Raditz is better than both because of the fact that Piccolo and Goku are forced to work together and the stakes are at the highest for both.
Absolutely. It's just ramping up.
Mm-hmm. Bigger numbers. This guy is 18 times stronger than Raditz. Now what? How did he get so strong and Raditz didn't get that strong? How is Napa? I think Napa was like 6,000-7,000. Mm-hmm. Why is he 5 times stronger than Raditz? Did Raditz just not apply himself, or is there some sort of nature versus nurture there where Nappa's just of a better breed?
5 most iconic metalcore albums. I blocked the thread.
No.
Why can't bad guys just be bad? Everyone has to dig. Why can't bad guys just be bad? Everyone has to dig. I love Bosa Rankin and the villains are just fun. I don't get why everyone feel like there needs to be more.
Adrian Rusco says, well, Mark is iconic for his large vocabulary repertoire.
Yeah. Okay.
No. Yeah, Foxy's one of my favorite villains, and he's just fun.
Forces of Frieza's army are misguided, ironically. That true power comes from manipulation of ki, group strategy, and specific martial arts proficiency rather than brute force.
Martial arts proficiency. How did that aid him in his Frieza fight? Did he out martial arts him? No, he did not.
Hey.
Frieza does have key manipulation because he just goes, I'm going to bulk up to now 100% of my 100%. So he knew how to raise his power level. So that's also gone. Communication, what did he say? Teamwork. There was no teamwork once Goku and Frieza started rocking up. Super Saiyan style with Spirit Bomb, whatever. Yeah. But that's out the window once Super Saiyan is introduced.
And you can say all of this, but they would have lost.
Yeah.
They were losing.
They got lucky.
They got lucky. Hey, guess what would have happened? Against Vegeta, they would have lost, but they got lucky.
But through teamwork.
And luck!
What is this key control thing that it's just like the Saiyans are missing?
Is he forgetting that every fight is won by the guy with the biggest number?
With the big number, big punch.
Pretty sure Nappa is middle-class Saiyan, and that's why he's stronger than Raditz.
So low-class, middle-class, upper-class, so we're just stronger inherently.
Yeah, we just...
Then why is Goku so strong?
Because he had all the martial arts.
Mark wins again.
Mm-hmm. Strength alone.
Nice martial arts. Now watch this. Throw death ball. It's like the dude doing the Brazilian capoeira, and he's doing all that stuff, and the dude just does the big punch. Legitimately like that.
Because he was martial arts and against Frieza didn't mean anything.
Notice that those with the Scouters, devices that are designed to give the wearer a better idea of what they're seeing, are in fact the most blind on the battlefield. In the case of Raditz, he's taken off guard not once, not twice, not even 3 times, but at numerous instances to varying degrees of severity. This Scouter Raditz relied on put him on the back foot and caused him to underestimate Piccolo, and perhaps most crucially, his brother Goku.
Okay, but is sensing energy a martial arts technique?
can they sense the hidden power of a person? Or can they only sense, just like a scouter, when their power is raised?
When Trunks went to just go, hey, I'm gonna slice you up, Goku. And Goku went, yeah, cool. And then he was like, why didn't you do it? He was like, oh, I sensed that you weren't even really...
There was no ill intent in your strike. But he didn't sense Trunks' hidden power.
If you can sense feelings, then surely...
No, you can sense, like, malice. Like, people have a sixth sense when they're just like, oh, no, that mother is... No, I'm gonna walk away from that situation. You've never had that? Where you've been walking like at night or something, and you hear someone behind you, you're like, no, that feels cool. Whatever, I don't care about that guy. But then there's another one where you're just...
I'm wary of everybody.
Of course you're gonna be wary of everyone. We live in Detroit.
I was about to say it could be a 6-year-old, but then I'm like, well, if a 6-year-old is walking out at 11 o'clock at night, of course there's something going on. I'm like, nope. This is some kind of catfish or something.
One says, you can say the scouters are subverting the expectations of the user.
Yuck. Joe, you're
Wait
right.
a second.
They couldn't find Cell because he was hiding his power.
Subverting that, and then there was a pause for expectations. I'm like, how did you do that? Okay, so because Cell was actively lowering his power levels, so that's an intentional thing. At like a base, could you be like, okay, Goku is his base, he's not trying, he's 4,000, but when he tries, he's an 8,000. Can you feel that 8,000 when he's just passively...
That's what I'm asking. And I don't think you can. So
I have no evidence for or against.
Cell.
Like I said, he was actively lowering it, though. And then that's a whole different thing. Because
I think the same thing happened with Trunks. When Trunks came down.
But he was actively lowering it because they sensed the scouter level and they were just like, oh, he's a 5. Because he was lowering it. So there is no, like, base Trunks is at 1 million, but he can raise it up to 50 million.
But when Goku was very far away from... Kid Buu found them because they were raising their power level. And when Goku is very far away from, like, the Earth, he needed somebody to raise their power level to be able to sense them, even though he knows the general direction of Earth.
I will accept that one.
So how's it any different than a scouter's underestimation, expectation, that type of thing, if you're just reading the numbers through your feelings as opposed to a device?
Because... you can feel it 360, whereas this scouter has to activate, and then you have to search and just go, oh, that motherfucker.
That bush.
What else could it be?
This fight is perfect.
Mark!
It's about to be thematically perfect. It's going to be Goku hoping to redeem his brother using his blah, blah, blah.
Everyone has a role in the fight.
Piccolo not hesitating to take out his former rival, but finding no joy in his vanquishing and defeating of him because it was about teamwork and taking out bigger threats.
Go on to the next section now.
Sure, it's not as good as other major fights in the story, or even this arc.
So wait, are the other fights even more perfect?
No, they're better, but they're not perfect. This is thematically perfect.
That's not what he said. He said this is perfect.
Say. That's what he's gonna
But
say.
other things are better. What?
Perfect. Sure, it's not as good as other major fights in the story, or even this arc, but it was never designed...
Cuck life, 100%. Live the life of the cuck.
Cuck. I gotta switch it back to my cuck.
Never designed to be.
He Hungers for Host says, God, I feel so much better now that I'm free of the nostalgia of Dragon Ball and can get into new series.
Once you break that chain, you just go, oh no.
Ultra perfect.
Even more perfect.
Adrian Rusco says, Perfector fights.
Perfector. It's this perfect. But, okay, I think I see what he's saying here.
Fights in the story, or even this arc, but it was never designed to be. This fraternal conflict instead is here to set the stage for what's to come next and to establish the theme of the arc as a whole. That theme being, the differences we are criticized for can be our greatest strength.
Hey, remember how...
It's okay to be confused.
We've said it before.
It's that theme.
We've said it before. Themes mean nothing because anybody can implant any theme they extrapolate from a story and go, this is the theme and it's all working towards this thing. What the is this? What did he just say?
Something about what you're mocked for is cool because you're strong or something or whatever.
He said theme like back to back too.
Story or even this arc, but it was never designed to be. This fraternal conflict instead is here to set the stage for what's to come next and to establish the theme of the arc as a whole. That theme being, the differences we are criticized for can be our greatest strength.
It's not perfect for what it does, what the fight or anything.
What
it's
it
perfect
is.
because it sets up stuff and there's a theme.
So the theme is essentially the differences are what could become our greatest strengths.
Now we got here in theme mark for 2 minutes. Great.
Let me explain.
And you need look no further for validation of this sentiment than this battle here with Raditz. Criticized, chastised, and taken advantage of for acting contrary to the ruthless warrior Raditz claims all Saiyans should naturally be, Goku stands in opposition to him and this ideology by rejecting his offer.
Pause. Hey, kill everybody, and you're stupid if you don't kill everybody. I don't want to. Wow, what a great theme. What? This month just comes up and just goes, why haven't you killed everybody? And that's not a natural thing to say.
Is that the theme of the arc as a whole?
I don't know, or if it's just this part of the arc. Maybe it's not for the saga, but maybe the arc. Remember when Mark said he tends to reuse words to...
One says, theme, iconic, paneling. These are the ingredients for a perfect video.
Remember when Mark said he tends to reuse words to embellish a series and that he would work to improve on that?
Nope.
Because clearly, like his master Toriyama, he forgot.
Nope, gone. That's
Dunzo.
That's like, bye.
Himself with his greatest enemy, surprising him with a technique he learned from a dear friend and mentor, and finally defeats him with the help of Piccolo in what is the most selfless act he's offered in this series so far.
Pause. Meaningless because he can be wished back.
Yes.
At any point in time.
Legitimately meaningless. It doesn't matter if I save someone at the cost of my arm if I know I can regrow an arm.
Mm-hmm. And there's zero cost.
Zero cost,
you just get
zero issue.
You still feel that pain, but you're back. They were just like, yep, gather the Dragon Balls. And they were like, no, wait for a year to wish him back.
So he can get the stronger.
At this point, Krillin had died.
There's a shoe in my pizza. Still one of our greatest bits ever.
But Krillin had died. Roshi had died. Chaozu had died. But they're all back. It means nothing.
Honestly, quite brilliantly, Raditz could never have seen
what was brilliant
offered in this series so far. And honestly, quite brilliantly, Raditz could never have seen this move coming because Raditz could never foresee a world where he would do the same for anyone else. In more ways than one.
Okay, as a mother in this world who I think have a good amount of empathy, if somebody did that to me, I'm like, yeah, no, you wouldn't. What's going on here? This understanding would have been like, oh, you wouldn't just kill yourself. But if Raditz
kill me,
yeah.
His worldview limited his abilities, all the while Goku, because of his sacrifices and virtues, has a community of friends supporting him that will march quite literally to hell and back in order to bring him back from the brink.
Hey, just get the Dragon Balls with the radar you created to find the Dragon Balls.
And then wish him back. Okay.
This isn't a struggle. This isn't any type of thing where it's like, oh my God, this could cost us our life if we do this.
Mark, Raditz got jumped. It's not that deep.
Yeah, Mom got jumped. The end.
Earlier on, I claimed that this first act does a lot, but in reality, it does everything. It changes the atmosphere of the entire story retroactively while not contradicting anything. It establishes a brand new...
It's hard to contradict stuff when stuff isn't really set up. There was no question, and then you answered a non-question. Why does Goku have a tail? Doesn't matter. Actually, it's the most important thing. Genius for answering a question that you said was irrelevant.
Main characters for us to follow in Gohan provides a captivating angle or theme from which to digest.
A captivating angle or theme by which to digest? What's the problem? What are we doing?
I did not know we were gonna get theme, Mark.
Really?
Not to this level.
Huh.
In 15 minutes, he has said the word theme or iconic no less than 7 times.
There's no way to quantify that.
This story through and sets up countless other facets to the story, all the while demonstrating one of the most breakneck, tightly paced fights in the series. And did I mention that the main character dies?
The first main character of JoJo's died years before this happened.
And that was like 40 chapters all up. This is some 150, 200 chapters into Dragon Ball. And he can be wished back easily.
He can come back.
This dramatic Goku means nothing. It is emotional manipulation to the top. Because, oh no, we're sad that this character is dead. When in a montage, they could wish him back.
Ares1 says, as Triggered said, he got pressured by their teamwork.
Legitimately.
Full court press.
How are we only 13 minutes into this video? How are we not at least at the end of the Napa Saga? Mark, you're literally saying next to nothing. The main character dies, but it can be wished back. And unlike Dragon Ball, Jonathan's death actually meant something.
That was a big sacrifice. And he didn't even mention Gohan. Or maybe he's gonna. Maybe
An interesting and frankly morbid piece of trivia concerning this chapter's release is that 1 month following it, Emperor Hirohito died, and 1 month following
Maria
that...
Neri says,
Are you
why
serious?
do Dragon Ball fans try to paint this idea that it's not all about power, even though every villain in Dragon Ball was killed by being overpowered, not by exploiting their weaknesses?
Because you got to make it sound smarter than it is.
Mark, you honestly can't be serious.
People die every day, Mark.
You honestly
people
can't be
die
serious.
every minute, Mark.
A country mourned for Goku and then they mourned for the Emperor.
Maybe remove that from the script.
Whoa, don't, Mark, just don't.
They literally could have brought him back to dinner that day.
Chapter's release is that 1 month following it, Emperor Hirohito died, and 1 month following that, the father of manga himself, Osamu Tezuka, passed away also. So in reality, over the course of a little over 2.5 months, the Japanese public had been shocked by a tragic passing following Goku's first ever death.
Are you sick? You're calling this a tragic passing? That a fictional character that can be wished back
willingly sacrificed himself. And then also, within the next chapter, he's just standing there in front of Kami going, hey, what up? I'm going to go train. And then 2 people who
are actual people
passed away. Okay, Mark.
Absolutely disgusting.
You do you, Mark. If you say that those are on the same planes of existence, where after this we've got 4 chapters before the Emperor dies, and then at that point Goku's running on Snake Way. Mother might be at King Kai at that point, but sure, you do you, Mark.
And with 3 prolific figures of the time having passed, the start of 1989 was a turbulent one for Japan. So yeah,
Goku kicked off a turbulent year of Japan with his death when he can be wished back.
When he willingly sacrificed himself for the good of his child and his entire planet. And these 2 individuals, I assume, died of either old age or
Leo
illness.
Luster says, this is like the 3rd gross thing he said to memory.
Yeah, this and the Ukraine thing.
The
it's
Superman
just like,
thing.
He needs somebody to take a pass. It's just like, it's just sensitive. Is this... Am I
Insensitive.
speaking in this?
DA for every prime drink you buy I am gonna make you watch a minute of anime Winziruma, keep that in mind. _ demon time.
You want to try me? Cause I'll do it.
Yeah, by the time the Emperor died, they were probably already talking about reviving Goku.
They were talking about reviving Goku on that chapter. On that chapter.
This is I honestly can't believe Mark would roll out actual dead people to go see what this is like. Phil saying, "Dang, my save file got erased and Kobe Bryant died. What a horrible day."
Mark
Equal
Muntz says,
tragedies.
Random individual. My country is being invaded and my people are being slaughtered. Mark, that reminds me of when Frieza destroyed planet Vegeta. Dutch says, try me, bitch.
Okay. You gonna make me go broke and you gonna make Paul richer, all right?
What did he say about Ukraine? It was during his Batman v Superman review. He said something like, Superman of that movie inspired hope, much like the Uberman or something of Ukraine inspired hope to a people that were being subjugated and hurt by a big force or something. He basically tried to tie the two things into each other.
Goku died at 2:04. As Krillin's over his body, Krillin's just like, don't worry, we'll find the Dragon Balls and wish you back. It had already been discussed. So now let me look 4 chapters in the future where the Emperor dies to chapter 208.
For host says, a bit off topic, but I feel like this connects to a bigger problem in fandoms where people treat fictional characters like they're real people.
There is a real parasocial type of thing when it comes to fictional characters. Mm. It's part of why people love saying, you know, the character's relatable, because they want to have that connection to the character on some plane of existence.
1 says, Comey can't communicate anime wins when?
Never. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it, and we don't deserve to hear it.
But, you know, it is more like, you know, feeling for the characters and wanting them to be happy and healthy and stuff like that. It's romance where you just go, I want these characters to get together.
Yeah, absolutely. And then in the series.
Chapter
T says, Piccolo taunts Raditz, we already have plans to bring back Goku with the Dragon Balls, you're gonna stay dead.
Oh yeah, that's how they find out about the Dragon Balls.
Yeah. Chapter 208, Goku is sleeping on Snake Way as the Emperor has passed away. So that's 4 chapters later.
What are we doing, Mark?
Cut that part, Mark.
Light is everything. Everything on a much smaller scale than what is admittedly right around the corner is prefaced in this fight and serves as the perfect launch pad. And I think a lot of that gets lost in translation because of how many people start Dragon Ball with the first arc of Z. It's easy to forget that this fight isn't just the story of Goku, but a vital chapter also in the story of Piccolo and his gradual...
We wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
As people that consumed it. Now, in the future, you could say this, absolutely.
Sure. But back in the day where most of the people watched Dragon Ball Z...
In the West.
In the West, there was no way to get it easily, readily available.
Shift in standing with the main cast. Once the most overwhelming villain to have ever graced the Dragon Ball world, now unlikely allies with his arch nemesis Goku against a formidable foe from the stars.
Frieza? Shrug shoulders, Frieza.
Yeah.
Piccolo's change is slow, but it is seismic. And just as we think that we've got our feet under us following Raditz's impactful entry and exit stage left, Gohan is kidnapped by the greatest supervillain this world has ever seen for special training. For as it happens, thanks to the scouter, Raditz was...
Every supervillain is the greatest supervillain. Raditz is greater!
Yeah. At one point, the greatest.
But every supervillain is the worst, and he's just the most recent.
So he must be the strongest.
Wearing his allies, the Saiyans, are arriving in a single year, all the while Goku, the Earth's hero, is hurled into what will soon become my favorite setting in all of Dragon Ball, Otherworld. But before we move on, just a quick heads up that I have a huge announcement later on in this video, so stay tuned.
What's the announcement? What's the announcement? What time are we at? 15:08? Does he say when the announcement is? I don't know when the announcement is, so I can't
Check the
jump
time
to.
scamps. Nope. Yeah, we're just gonna have to wing it. We'll get to it. Somebody will tell us.
What?
No
Animation mark.
No
Animation mark.
Legitimately, no.
Legitimately, no. Hey, blank mark is bad.
There are two things I love about second acts in stories: training arcs and tournament arcs, neither of which Dragon Ball is in particularly short supply of. And in this particular second act, there are two main plot lines to follow, as well as the looming threat on the horizon driving all the action that's taking place. So let's start with my favorite one: Otherworld and the wacky adventures of Goku on the way to train with King Kai. You know a training arc is going to be good when, in order to qualify for said training, you need to 1. Be dead, 2. Be one of the lucky few actually chosen to travel with their physical bodies in the first place, and 3. Traverse a seemingly endless 1 million
Blaze
kilometer
Rider says, ALX, never left since 2019.
Never for a second.
Being dead, okay, sure, you can be wished back. Number 2, being one of the lucky people that can keep their body. This is the first time that it was introduced that once you're dead, you just become a soul and you get to keep your body. And then Goku is just like, okay, you can keep your body. What threshold do you need to keep your body? Who knows? Who cares? And traveling to a thing, they could have wished him, hey, I wish me to be on Snake Way. I mean, over to King Kai.
that has only once been crossed in the last 100 million years.
Pause. Okay, so now you've introduced Snake Way and then also introduced, it's a super big thing that's only been crossed over once. That does
In
nothing
100
for
million
stakes.
years. And then 4 other people do it in the next arc.
Yeah, it just does nothing for me. And
Oh,
like
8
this
other
thing
people.
is an impossible thing. Oh, and then Goku just does it.
Wacky Adventure, dude was just running on Snake Way.
This is a small aside, but unironically, Snake Way, as well as Goku's journey on it, has been one of the main inspirations as to why I started running marathons in the first place. It's a simple
Hey,
but
good for you.
immensely effective visual and physical challenge for us to understand as readers, not to mention a fun one. Visually, it's striking, with the clouds beneath acting as an abyss, the likes of which threaten to swallow up Goku if he misses
Pause.
so much.
Okay, sure. It's understandable that you got to run into this, but if it's 100 million kilometers, did he say?
Something like that.
That is inconceivable to me. I don't know how fast Goku can run. I don't know at the rate that he gets tired. I don't know if you can even
you
get
get
tired when you're dead. So just him going, oh, this is a Herculean feat. It means
They
nothing.
definitely have more stamina because Goku ran out during the Dragon Ball, the Super Saiyan 3, because it was like my stamina was way different over there.
So just him doing this big task means nothing to me.
As a single step, and in addition to all of that, it's contrasted with this look that just screams, let's do it, as soon as he heads off flying. And for whatever reason, this scene has always stuck in my head as sort of this encapsulation of exactly what I love about Goku. And as a kid, it was always something I tried to take inspiration from. That there will be seemingly impossible challenges ahead, but all of those challenges, if you approach them with the right attitude, you really can handle them. Goku's a character I love, and this environment really dragged out some of my favorite qualities of his. And that's not even to mention the filler in the original broadcast either. And while I will remain consistent and say that I don't typically enjoy filler, and that if you're looking for a pure experience as the original author intended, you should read the manga or go watch Kai or something. With all that said, these episodes are still some of my favorite fillers of all time. Pulling the trigger on Goku
They're
falling
good
into hell
filler.
only to find himself in a series of challenges against these two lunkheads was a great idea, and the misdirection at Princess Snake's palace only further elevated the treacherous path Goku had to navigate on his way to King Kai's training. But the street cleaner gag is just too perfect. I cannot help but imagine that Akira Toriyama wished and was kicking himself for not having come up with it himself. It's just too perfect, and it might be my favorite visual gag of all time.
His favorite visual gag of all time, not just for Dragon Ball. Mark needs to consume more media.
Yeah.
That's just the long and short of it. He seems very much ingrained in the shonen, in the Jump formula of his media. I want to read Jump titles almost exclusively. Has he reviewed a
Chris
slice
the
of
Chump
life?
says, can't wait for Mark to cover Kaioken, the special Kool-Aid form.
The special Kool-Aid form. Like, could he review a slice of life? Especially since there's not really arcs in slice of life.
I don't think it would be as long or in depth as something like his Mob Psycho or something like that.
But I think you can do it. Could he do a thriller / drama that's not action? Something like Liar Satsuki.
I think he could. It wouldn't be good, but he could.
Whenever I read this manga or watch through this story, I'm always struck by how wonderfully Gohan's journey contrasts his father's original path as a child. All the while Goku gleefully and resolutely marches down an impossible path, his son Gohan is struggling to do the very basics of...
Because Goku, there was no looming threat in what he was doing.
And he had been there since we've seen him, at least a couple years.
He grew up in martial arts and stuff like that. So assumedly, this is his only interest. He's enjoying this, and Gohan is forced to be in this position. So yes, there of course is going to be differences in how they approach these things. Absent of the fact that Goku is 3 times older than Gohan at this point.
Survival, even with the help of an unlikely babysitter. Casting reminds
Someone
back
put Mark
yet
the
again-
Vinland side. Mark needs to do... He did Attack on Titan. And
That's action.
But it's a lot more... It's not a whole lot of action.
It's a lot more drama and
political
horror,
stuff.
and I understand that, but there's a lot of action.
Sure, there's a lot of action, but it's a lot of stuff leading up to the action.
What gifts do you see? What gifts do you see when you see Attack on Titan? Is it the flying through the
pose?
city? Is it the flying through the city?
The pose?
Is it the cutting the back of the necks? Is it the transforming? I'd submit yes.
He could make a second channel dedicated to Slice of Life. It would eat up into his time, and Mark just don't have the time for that.
No.
What Goku's first significant on-screen training was as a child. After demonstrating his abilities and proving himself worthy of Master Roshi's tutelage, Goku chose to willingly seek out the guidance and training of who was, at the time, the Earth's greatest hero. Contrast that now with Gohan, someone who...
Yes, he was under the tutelage of a person who was nice to him, who fed him, who taught him math.
As opposed to the guy that just went, I'm going to hit you and you better survive.
My kindness to you is 2 apples and a shirt.
2 was chosen based on the merits he demonstrated, but was kidnapped, forced to take the training of not the Earth's hero, but instead its ultimate villain. And I honestly enjoyed noticing these little choices because it clearly demonstrated that from the very beginning, Gohan was never meant to be like Goku, which is, I found, not only interesting as a character study, but additionally, as I found, offered the series something it otherwise hadn't in any meaningful capacity prior. Looking back on the early...
I don't think that it's worthy of praise that Gohan is not like Goku.
I would submit no.
It's like I said, it is a choice, similar or different.
Those are your 2 choices.
That's what it's gonna be.
Piccolo's only kindness to Gohan is the sacrifice at the very end, and people still act like he is this great father figure. Piccolo is noted as a great father figure because of
later stuff.
Yeah, later stuff. Unrelated, but I like the look of that Goku has when he takes off his weighted clothes, and I wish the series would use it more. Piccolo unironically went, if he dies, he dies. If he dies, he dies. If Gohan's not supposed to be like Goku, why does everyone want him to be like Goku?
Because the big punch needs to happen.
Not every character is THS same. Please clap.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball series, there were of course plenty of opportunities for us to share time with Goku as he trained with various individuals and masters. We've seen him train with people like Krillin, but outside of his direct involvement, any secondary characters' training took place off-screen. Goku needed to be present in order for us to see their training for the most part. However, this time around, in the Saiyan Saga, no such mistreatment of secondary characters takes place this time. Mostly. In the past, this was the Goku show, but something is different this time around, and it's thanks to Gohan, who now assumes a comfortable and natural position in the B-plot. Not just helping the pacing of this arc tremendously, not just offering up screen time to the likes of Piccolo, who has up until now only shared the screen with Goku, but it is the first indication we've gotten that signals the importance of the Gohan character moving forward, and how in more ways than one, Dragon Ball Z isn't simply the story of Goku.
I don't I don't think that this is the first indication of his importance. I think it was when he had that overwhelming burst of strength, and then Piccolo. That's the reason why Piccolo was training with him, because he's just like, we can harness that power.
Let's rubbing his hands behind the tree.
Yeah, like if I can evil this kid.
Hold up now.
Of Gohan.
Mark of you on Attack on Titan is bad. I don't deny that.
Gohan's character is not the same as his father. Fascinating.
Yeah. It makes you think, huh? This character is not the exact same as this character, even though he was birthed from that character. Taps Temple. That's an interesting choice, Toriyama. Let's see where this leads.
There's no cooking.
Speaking when he goes, that's one of my favorite visual gags of all time. That's my favorite. I was just, because it's a bold strategy, Cotton, and then I just thought of dodgeball, and when I immediately think of dodgeball, I immediately think of, I don't know if you've ever seen $100,000 except on TV.
But I assure you, something gets lost in the translation.
I don't know if he's seen dodgeball, but
that's way
the truck over that.
Something of note also is that while I referred to Gohan's training under Piccolo as the B plot earlier, it's worth noting that for the time being, it could be quite easily considered the A plot, with Gohan's training standing at 3 chapters worth of material compared to Goku's 1.5 chapters of total time spent on King Kai's planet. However, it's hard to shake the feeling that Goku's time spent on King Kai's planet was exceptionally special. Or at least it was.
What does Gohan do in terms of training? He survives in the wild, and then he fights Piccolo, sparring, and then he just gets stronger because of it.
Yes.
That is his training.
That's what you're supposed to do, right?
And that's why I said I hate this nebulous Dragon Ball training, where they just train and then they get stronger. We sparred, so now we're just stronger.
However strong we need to be.
Punching and kicking Piccolo, getting punched and kicked by Piccolo is his training.
For me, it's the first training arc I ever watched personally. I loved it, but what's interesting is that it's the first one for Goku on screen in quite some time too. While in the past Goku had training with Roshi and Kami, and technically his grandpa Gohan prior to the series, this training we see and enjoy on this small but memorable planet is the first piece of training we're privy to as audience members for Goku since his training alongside Krillin with Master Roshi in the second arc of the story.
Pause. Okay, sure, but what does this training consist of? Catch bubbles, which gets him acclimated to the gravity, which gets him stronger, sure. The Gregory thing was filler. Was there a third one, or was it just those two? And then it's just like he trains in a panel or two with King Kai. Mm-hmm. He's just like, you've learned the Kaioken and the Spirit Bomb now. Okay.
That's ages ago. And as training goes, it's near perfect. Firstly,
okay. Go ahead. Yeah, near perfect.
Another perfect thing.
Near perfect.
Hey, Raditz, that was a perfect fight. Even though there are better fights. Hey, this is near perfect training arc. 1.5 chapters.
Where we just see him get acclimated to the...
You know what I think is a perfect training arc? Naruto learning the Rasengan.
Yep.
I think that is an absolutely perfect training arc. It's not too long. It's not too short. You get to see every aspect of why he learned the thing he learned.
Do this
what
thing.
Goes into it.
Now apply that thing to this thing. Now apply that thing to this thing. And that's the technique.
Now put it all together.
Near. Capital NEAR. Perfect. A lot of training was just skipped. It just skips over to the end where he just learned the Kaioken and Spirit Bomb. Yeah, that is... We don't really see what his training is on King Kai's planet. I don't know the application to learn the Kaioken. Yeah. What is
Chris
it?
The Chilled
You
says,
just learned it.
Y'all read the Minato one shot?
It's like I told Turk, it's adorable. You'd think I'd read that on my own.
I have not. I don't have the time. I've seen screenshots. I've rolled my eyes. I'm going to get to it.
is hilarious. Much the same way Roshi was an eccentric wise old teacher, King Kai follows suit with 100% less horny. Those of you who know me will understand why I vastly prefer King Kai. Secondly, King Kai's planet is the first use of enhanced gravity in the series for the purpose of training, making it a natural evolution on the weighted clothing idea introduced in early Dragon Ball. And thirdly, as I mentioned, only 1.5 chapters worth of training is spent with Goku on King Kai's, which honestly made me reflect on why I felt so strongly about.
Where did those rocks come from?
I like this part of the story. It fleshed out Gohan and Piccolo well. Gohan's training, survival training was fun and cool to me and gave the audience the time to get to know. Yeah, absolutely. I will not bash what was going on with Piccolo and Gohan.
Outside of the fact of just nebulous Dragon Ball training.
Yeah, it's outside of the overarching issue of Dragon Ball stuff. It's a good arc. Mark throwing out them perfects like he's Oprah. you get a Oprah. You get a perfect. You get a perfect. You get a perfect.
Ares1 says, "Wonder really if Mark would even like romance manga Kaguya-sama? It has drama and lots comedy as well."
I love.
I don't know what Mark likes. I don't know what he values. He goes, yeah, I'm not a big fight monkey man when he talks about characters and stuff like that. That's why I didn't talk about it. But he is though.
Literally is.
About this material as
King Kai can make rocks.
Okay.
Hey, Piccolo has clothes, Bane. What do you
I didn't say. Did you hear me say no? He can't.
series. And then it hit me. Much of the actual on-screen training we get from King Kai is just comedic relief. Very good comedic relief at that, but still just comedic relief.
I don't think it's very good, but I think that's subjective.
But
I know I think Hot Fuzz is very good comedic relief.
But you get that comedic relief training, and he comes back down to earth, and he's 10 times stronger. I would like to see how he got that 10 times stronger.
He has a technique that makes him 3 times stronger than that.
And has a technique that he
Arcadia
uses.
says, Mark loves paneling, music, pacing, and subversion of expectations.
You know it. Those are. Whoa, I'm talking about story-wise, not the things that he values.
What is a manga he would pick up and go, I'm picking this up because I believe I will enjoy it, and then he reads it and go, I very much enjoyed that.
But he learns 2 techniques, one of which he uses in every fight, in every main fight except for Cell. The other which he uses in Vegeta to great effect. And in Frieza to not so great effect, but he still uses it. Mm-hmm. But we don't get to see that. We just see him, you did it. I don't think that's very good.
The actual training we do get is classic Dragon Ball, however. Meaning it is all about the fundamentals. Traditionally, that has been Toriyama's approach with training in this series, but
I misspoke, Gavin! Okay? Shut up! That's not what I meant!
He must be in a Discord saying some.
I said, with the 6-year-old walking outside, I was just like, yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm going to get catfished. And I misspoke. Okay?
What did you think you meant
I meant, like, not entrapped, but, like, I don't know, like, you know.
Set up?
Yes. No.
No. The setup is set up.
Kaguya-sama anime, but they cut quite a lot from the manga.
It's set up. Oh, why would they? They did the same thing in Beastars. I hate the Beastars anime.
They did the same thing with Tomoko-chan wants to be seen as a girl. Why? Which is very good.
It's all about, for the sake of brevity, just getting to it. It's just like, hey, just let things sit for a moment. Imagine being the person who introduces Mark to a different genre. Every time something good happens in an episode, he'll explain it, how it reminds him of Dragon Ball Z.
It's not the same.
Says, setup, entrapment, buying a cupcake. It's all the same.
It's not the same. I misspoke.
At least when it's set up, you can go, hey, I'm going to go help this 6-year-old. And there's some dude.
That's the setup. And not in the way that you're thinking, but in the other way. It's a setup.
Are we about to get a thunderstorm?
I wouldn't put it past us. Surprised Mark doesn't do my Pokemon content since it was his favorite piece of media before DBZ. Not too much to say about Pokemon outside of the big moments. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's why he is. But you could just do like a big moment.
A top 10 from each region or something.
Works exceptionally well when you take into consideration the broader context of the arc. In other words, when you take into account its themes.
Mother! You... I can't just look at something. I gotta look at through in theme glasses. I'm tired of this. Just let me watch something without having to be like, yo, but did you think? No, I didn't. You think about shutting the up?
No, he didn't.
Stop, Mark, in particular.
It's okay to be confused.
Nobody's confused here.
Mother, I'm sick to death of it. Yo, this is real good. If you look at it with the themes in my... No! The month just off-screens 2 techniques.
2 crucial techniques.
Ares 1 says. Themes. Buster says.
Thing.
Hey DA, I heard you like little kids. I heard you as a pedophile.
No. That's all I can say to that. That you've heard
Prove
incorrectly. No, not prove it.
Yeah, what can you prove? How do you disprove that? Bring me a kid, watch how I don't get hard.
In the broader context of the arc. In other words, when you take into
Isaiah
account...
Avila says. Dragon Ball was the first to have these iconic themes.
I'm just melting every
when you
time
take
I
into
hear that
consideration the broader context of the arc. In other words, when you take into account its themes. Right around the corner is a battle of good versus evil, of elite versus lower class, of natural talent versus hard work.
Pause. We're just told that Vegeta has natural talent. We're just told that Goku is a lower class. We don't know his stock.
We're just told that Goku works hard for his power. We're just told that Vegeta doesn't work hard for his power.
Told that Vegeta's a prince. We don't know these things. He could be lying. Who is alive to disprove him? He could be like, I'm King Nut Saiyan. Disprove me. Swinging and dangling. It don't matter. I don't care about this lower class versus upper.
Mark, stop trying to sound like P-Pseudo intellectual or not smart. You ain't cooking or just microwaving, pretending or cooking.
Just a pretend cook.
It's warm. All right? It's food. It's warm food. What else do you want from me?
What could you possibly...
Good food, Mark.
Are you hungry?
All right, now I gotta make good warm food. You can get 2 of those things. It can be good and warm. It can be warm food. Or it can be good food, but it's gonna be ice cold. What's good and warm, Mark? A blanket? You just gonna hand me a blanket?
Yeah, eat that.
Let me microwave this air. That's what you get.
Piss, how about that?
It's a triangle. You can only pick one of them sides of the triangle.
It's 22 minutes in the video, and I've lost count of the many times this man has dropped the word thing.
Too many.
Outside of catching bubbles, almost all of Goku's technique training with King Kai is kept surprisingly vague and secretive, given that we as an audience are present to watch him train in more than one instant. We hear some non-specific talk of the Kaioken, and then Goku firing what appears to be a ki blast, but all of these moments are intentional.
Intentional. Or is it just Toriyama going, I ain't trying to explain this shit.
Yeah.
It's... Because why doesn't Piccolo know the Kaioken? He was there.
He didn't want to learn it.
Why doesn't the Earthlings know it?
Who's to say they don't?
I've never seen them bust one out.
Does that mean that they don't have it?
Sure.
This is a mistake. He's got such a good voice.
It's such a good
He
voice.
doesn't deserve to be singing Demon Time.
Mark cut out the picture on the box and served it. Thank you for the
Microwave that mug. Here you go, eat up, wet.
The voice is so silky.
Buster
He's
says,
killing it.
Demon time, nigga.
Demon time.
Holding of information is intentional. These moments are all planting seeds, allowing these crops to be harvested in spades once Goku
He can do two things.
Yes.
That's
and
all that
in
we
the
know.
future, you will see those two things.
And those two things will help him in this fight.
So get hyped for two things that you don't know how he learned and we're being purposefully vague about. It is creating artificial hype by not explaining what he did to obtain these things.
What he did, how he did, what this does. It just does the thing that it does.
Y'all forgot about that. It is only available when someone super chats $4.45. It is the only way to activate. It is 100% activation every time. Everything else is a random activation. Anything can
Mark
pop
Munch
up.
says,
No,
you
not
should
that.
commission the singer to sing Angel Essence Goku, Spirit Saiyan Goku, etc.
Yo, that would be hype. I might have to put that in the back of my mind. I mean, we've always been bums. But yeah, do y'all remember the 3 Ps? Absolutely not,
No,
Nami.
stop.
Thank you for the
never
super chat,
do.
Nami.
Always demon time.
He killed that shit.
Oh, busting out demon time. Hey, could you sing It's Demon Time? Yeah, I can sing It's Demon Time. Give me a day.
Made it in time, and it's so fucking good.
I'm busting out gold like that, casually, in demon time.
And we just have to be the most jerky jerks. Just let demon time flow on our screen chat while you eat a cupcake emulating 445. Thank you for the super chat, Isaiah.
This is just our lives now.
I'm just waiting on the activation.
I see Demon Slayer took a page from Dragon Ball when it comes to showcasing techniques. Yeah, he learned them.
Nami, thank you for the super
Stop!
Always demon time.
I might have to take it away.
Demon time. Always demon.
Buster says, DA versus Robert Kelly, who wins? Seth the programmer should get on this.
Ooh, shrugged. Tuck collar.
R. Kelly is not only a lot older than me, he's also in jail. But he's got a lot more, as the kids say, riz than me. So who knows at this point?
It's not the
Blaze
song that
Ryder
makes the
says,
singer, it's the singer that
never
makes
not
the
funny.
song. It's never not funny.
It's kind of too good to be funny.
It's just a legitimate song.
But it stinks.
DA is eating a cupcake in that alert. It is emulating after EDP 445 got caught trying to get the cupcake. The first time he came back on live stream, he just was doing it just like that, eating the cupcake and then tilted his head like, because I was only trying to bring a cupcake.
Yep. If you look on the Discord, I put it in full. So you can compare them side by side if you want.
Thank you for re-upping as a bum, Alfonso.
is Earth. And similarly, the vast majority of the other individuals training, including Gohan at this point in time, are also kept largely off-screen, further planting seeds for the eventual yield that will result in their first encounter with
No, see,
Puss.
this is bullshit, because all you're going is, we trained,
Buster
just wait
says,
for the results.
Bro said Kelly has Riz. Bro has that underage Riz.
Kelly can sing. He still got the name of R. Kelly. You don't think Muff is bending over for R. Kelly?
Downfall. DA didn't willingly agree to eat the cupcake for the bit. He had the idea of the cupcake for the bit.
Indeed, I did. So yeah, we're just kept. Everything is kept vague. So what did Gohan learn? Essentially nothing. He learned to blast,
But he's stronger.
but he's stronger. and he learned to blast. At any point in time, he could just do any kind of blast. It doesn't matter him learning it, whatever. It doesn't matter. Krillin learned the Destructo Disc, and we've seen like 2 panels of them doing their training. But he got 3 times stronger, and he's Raditz level in a year. Why didn't he do that before? Who knows? But it's all just kept purposely vague. So once they rock up and do something, you go, oh my goodness, they can now do this thing.
Okay, actually, wait. There's one piece of filler that I'm glossing over, and honestly, it was the part of the show I never enjoyed watching. And that was Gohan's extra episodes spent with those orphan children and other training hijinks. At first glance, this section of the story seems perfect for filler misadventures the same way Goku's trip across Snake Way offered. But as I mentioned, the choice to avoid demonstrating training is still a creative choice, and one that the anime decided to change, that in my opinion served to not only kill the pacing, but also somewhat spoiled the confidence that Gohan would eventually be demonstrated to have gained along his way too.
Hold on. Sure. You get hints of that confidence, but you don't showcase it all the way. He's not a completely different character after that filler. He's just like, okay, I can do this thing. And then later he nuts up and does it, even though he's scared.
Couldn't you even say that, it betrays the confidence, it spoiled the confidence of it. But then when you see him scared, you're like, oh no, he's still that kid. Yeah. Couldn't you say that in the same way?
And it also personalizes him, because you see him going up to the house like he showed and then going back like, no, I need to do this thing no matter what. You get some character stuff, because at this point, he's just a whiny kid and now he's just fighting. There's no real character to Gohan, but you get to see him interacting with other people.
Also, I do not remember that filler.
I remember it vaguely.
I remember Super Saiyan Gohan saving people.
R. Kelly does have the Riz, as the kids say. No, not those kids. No.
Hey, we're gonna tap out right about now.
For the exciting news, many of you will know of or may even contribute to my Patreon at this point. Up until now, it's mostly just been a way for you guys to directly support me of your own volition. But now, for the first time ever, it is evolving. We are completely overhauling it. Not only is it a great way to help the channel, but you will now be able to gain access to a wide variety of awesome exclusive perks. We've got amazing wallpapers for PC and mobile based on the great artwork I've had made for the channel.
Hey, that's cool.
Sure.
Yeah, I would rock with that.
Over the years, and these now come with time lapses of their creation too.
Hey, that's cool.
Alongside this, you'll gain access to not only uncensored versions of the videos, but you'll be able to watch in-progress previews as soon as they're finished during the week. No more waiting for YouTube. But a big part of this is really about connecting with you guys and ensuring the most passionate of you have your voices heard. We'll be taking video suggestions from you guys, as well as producing an exclusive Q&A video every single month. And of course, it wouldn't be complete without a series of my...
Alfonso Rodriguez says, things that are 12 years old just hit different.
As people that take suggestions for videos, you do not want that, Mark.
Yeah, it's going to be bad. It might be good to check in on that Q&A stuff after a couple months, just to check in on what kind of things people ask, because that might be a little bit interesting to get into the mind of Mark. Yeah. Like that TikTok, that was very enlightening, and getting to know Mark the person might inform some stuff for us.
No, not me. I was not being condescending. I think that's legitimately cool stuff that fans would absolutely enjoy.
No, this is the type of stuff that Patreon is for.
The embarrassing outtakes that my crew sure love to laugh at every single week.
Yeah.
Examining her newly acquired pit. So please.
I like how Kaiser put a lot of our bush in with our... Yep. Is it white or who? It's white. Just spit over to you.
You knew what he was doing.
Head over to my Patreon, linked in the description, and see what tiers work best for you. And either way, your contribution will now result in your name featured at the end of our videos as a way to recognize you and say thanks. This channel
Now pause. I don't like how they're tiered in stars as the Dragon Ball. I do not like that. I am against that vehemently.
I'm against it.
I don't like that. That's all.
Your name featured at the end of our videos as a way to recognize you and say thanks.
No, it sounds good.
Be possible without you guys.
He's giving them stuff.
I'm
not gonna be like, hey, don't give them stuff. What are you doing? No, this is stuff that you give.
This is good stuff for a Patreon. Absolutely.
This is stuff that people want to see.
What's the Patreon at? I wonder if he's one of those people that hide the amount of money he makes. QA is such a basic reward that everyone does. Yeah, but people do like to have their questions like prioritized to the creator and just hear that stuff.
Mark hasn't done it, so there's a lot of questions that you could ask.
This is something we could have done, but instead at the end of the screen, we just like ask your question, boss.
I don't see what it is.
Well, it's the...
Yeah, I don't see it. So
okay, yeah. Sounds like one of the Heidi boys.
Support one another with these awesome rewards. I can't wait for you guys to see some of them.
俺たちも勝てるって本当だろうな君の選択が選手たちの運命を変えるスーパーファミコンドラゴン
Hey, can we get a turn-based RPG of JoJo's, please?
That'd be fun.
It would make so much
Aries
sense.
1 says, subtle Team 4-star reference.
I didn't get it, so I'm glad that I didn't get it. Don't explain it, or your time.
ALA should do a Patreon where BG shows the algorithm of gamble and the conversion rate of scam bucks to US dollars. I have shown the algorithm for gamble on stream when asked immediately. No shenanigans.
You'd be surprised about the conversion rate, though.
スーパー悟空伝覚醒編登場
I've been waiting to talk about this one for a long time. Napa and Vegeta set a bold new standard for this series in this arc. Gone are the days of camp pageantry or gag-fueled bosses with humorous underlings. Vegeta and Napa are...
Pause!
And I miss it.
Piccolo rocked up and was just murdering people.
Tao Pai Pai.
Tao killed him up with his tongue. Don't, Mark. This isn't a new standard. Raditz said, hey, come back here with a pile of bodies or your kid's gonna get stomped. Don't act like it's just like, oh, these are the bad villains rocking up.
I miss those goofy villains though, same.
Yeah.
But they're too strong now. They can't go back to that.
Blooded killers, and Toriyama wants you to understand what this means for our heroes right out the gate, as they effectively glass an entire city. And while this might be...
Cool attack. What is it? What happened there? What did he do? And why did nobody else ever do something like that? Did he expand his ki outward? Did he, like, blast the ground and it comes up? And no, it's just a cool visual that he just blows it up. What is this?
He blowed up real good.
What is this? Don't think about it. It just is.
Rather climactic statement made in this scene by dusting this entire town of life. It comes packed with some subtle exposition and insight also. Firstly, tension is built.
What is subtle exposition?
It's not, hey, Napa, we've been around since each other since we were 6, and now we're 28 years old.
That's
and my
just like my
level,
big brother.
The beginning of Guardians, where, hey, we're our father, sister, because we've been training. Shut the up.
Through our newfound understanding of the Saiyan homeworld's gravity situation. These are monstrously quick and savagely strong foes. Secondly, I like how they allude to Gohan's power being one of the 2 most substantial power readings based on their initial scouter scans. Furthermore, these expectations for Gohan are only further emphasized when Krillin himself, upon his arrival on the battlefield, compares Gohan with his father when he was a kid. This sets an interesting expectation for us as readers because...
Gohan is so far out of the range of Kid Goku, it's not even funny. What is Krillin sensing?
Maybe in just the way he is, the way he looks, and all that stuff.
King Piccolo glassed an entire city too, and he literally had people shuffle numbers to see which one of them would die. No, but these two, it's ignoring things to prop up this. Yeah. This is the
Mark is nothing if not that.
Forget about King Rabbit. That silly moon rabbit who turned people into carrots. Isn't that kind of horrific? Doesn't matter. This is the real stuff. King Piccolo? It doesn't matter.
Oh, but when Boo turns people into candy and eggs, it's horrific, I guess.
only further emphasized when Krillin himself, upon his arrival on the battlefield, compares Gohan with his father when he was a kid. This sets an interesting expectation for us as readers because, aside from seeing a more confident Gohan surviving in the wild at times, we've not really seen how he performs in combat since his run-in with Raditz. And while I'm on the topic of Gohan, I do like that at every available opportunity he dissuades people's expectations of Piccolo as this maniac or monster of evil. Like Goku, he sees him for who he is, not what he projects. And thematically, there's a lot there.
If you had paused faster, we could have avoided it. This is
Then
your
we would have
fault.
just hit play and the first thing we heard would have been thematically.
I guess. But I'd rather get punched in the nuts later than punched in the nuts now.
I'd rather get punched in the nuts now because at least it's over as opposed to that expectation.
Hey, I'm going to kick you in the nuts sometime today.
Yeah!
So you sit there like, no! Every time you walk
nuts!
I don't remember what I was going to say.
Let me go back. We're already vaccinated against it thematically. It won't affect us as hard.
Goku, he sees him for who he is.
Okay, pause, yeah. Who is he?
Yeah, who is Piccolo?
Who is Piccolo to Gohan?
Thematically or otherwise.
What did he see in him?
Demon time. Demon King Piccolo.
I guess.
Projects. And
Well,
thematically,
obviously, Blaze, the choice would be to not get punched in the nuts.
Absolutely. But
we're not avoiding theme, Mark. So it's going to happen. So we need to figure out if it's going to happen now or later.
there's a lot there in terms of being who you are versus what you're expected to be. Similar to how Goku is who he is without fear, Piccolo at this present time is conflicted somewhat, even if he doesn't show it. The sudden exposition onto Piccolo from Vegeta and Nappa certainly takes him by surprise concerning his ancestry. And the final piece of subtle exposition from the Saiyan
But what does that have to do
How's
with
that
Gohan?
subtle? How was that subtle?
Expectation times 3 and then right into themes.
Yeah, we're ignoring that.
How would that subtle?
Hey.
Hey, you're a Namekian.
Hey, you also an alien. Oh, thanks.
We didn't
Wait,
know a
did we do
Namekian.
that? Did we do that 10 chapters ago? Hey, Wolf. He just turns and like, Krillin, are you an alien? What is, everybody's an alien.
It's less about subtlety and more about it's not being focused on. The camera's not on. It's just like off to the side. Just, hey, you're a Namekian. I can't believe there's a Namekian on this planet.
We got bigger things to worry about, though.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when it was just like, oh, crap, I killed my grandpa.
Yeah.
Like, that's there, but it's like bigger things to worry about.
The aspect of Vegeta's characterization that is communicated early, and that is his intelligence. He recalls the name of the Dragon Balls instantly, points out how reckless...
Pause!
They're called the Dragon Balls.
He said that, hey, there are these wish orbs that can get you anything. And as they're flying away, it's like, we're going to go get those Dragon Balls. Even if it is a year, it's like, hey, why did we come here? I don't know.
I done forgot.
It's not a big thing to be
In
like,
all my eating of aliens, I done forgot why, what they're called.
what are we here for? Muffs is flying away. Nappa was just like, are we going to push back Raditz? It's like, no, we're not. They know what they're there for. It's 2 words. A dragon and a ball. So long as they share the commonality of language, why wouldn't he remember the purpose of why he's here, Mark? That's not smart.
It's more so if Nappa doesn't remember that Nappa's dumb.
Yes. It is expected intelligence to remember the purpose of
why you're there.
Here.
It's like going into the store like, what did I come here for? Oh yeah, I came here for the thing.
Hey, get some milk, eggs, and bread. I remember the milk, eggs, and the bread.
180 IQ.
Genius.
blasting of an entire city was because it could have contained a Dragon Ball, and beyond even that, Vegeta is the first to acknowledge almost immediately how
Cotton
worthless
Candy
the
Hope
scouters
says, the balls are inert.
The
The
balls
balls
are
are
nerd.
indeed that.
themselves are based entirely on Raditz's encounter with the Earthlings prior. It's terrific stuff and demonstrates to us that while Vegeta might
Ares 1 says, basic memory, such high standards.
Basic training?
I just re-listened to that episode. I'm still in the middle of it. It's such a good episode,
really
dude.
But here, he sees Piccolo, and Piccolo's at a 300. It's like, okay, there's no way that this dude can beat Raditz. If they knew that we were coming, they had time to train, so clearly they can hide their power levels. That's not a large intelligence feat. I'm sorry, Mark.
Encounter with the Earthlings prior. It's terrific stuff and demonstrates to us that while Vegeta might be more monstrous than Nappa in every metric, shocking as that may be, he's also double threatening because he possesses the ability to abstractly think on the fly and compose strategy based on available, scarce information.
Pause.
But
so his 3 feats of intelligence are remembering the reason why they're there, going, hey, don't destroy things because you might destroy the Dragon Balls.
Which is the reason that we're here.
And seeing that Piccolo is so much weaker than Raditz and going, oh, there's no way that he could have beaten him, so they can hide their power.
that's
Wow.
enough preamble, it's time to start fighting. I think the choice of using the Saibamen is sort of emblematic of how Vegeta and Nappa view and value strength in the story. They each see the Earth's fighters, aside from Piccolo because he's sort of an Namekian, as weaklings. These folks are born on Earth destined to be weak despite their efforts. Conversely, the Saiyans carry themselves...
When do they...
Banned. Gone. Forever.
Yes, music and theme and
What?
paneling, Mark, is banned forever.
Yes, gone. Forever.
But when are they talking about they're destined to be weak forever? Like, no, you're just not as strong as us.
around with this overinflated sense of self-importance specifically because of their ancestry. Because they know that they are this strong naturally. They are born this way. They cannot
But they're
fathom-
not born this way. Vegeta was not a kid at 18,000.
Yeah, no.
I'm just so tired of this stupid shit.
Just so tired of it.
They have a greater ability to get as strong as they do because of their ancestry.
Elements like teamwork, specific martial arts practice or technique, and heart playing any sort of meaningful
That's
role.
not martial arts. What does heart play into any kind of battle?
Hey, Vegeta had a lot of heart, and he got done up by Frieza. He didn't have a lot of heart, and he done up Zarbon.
in battle. And so, planting these Saibamen, beings that grow from the ground with no experience, no martial arts training, and no sense of self, only highlight how this is all the Saiyans believe is valuable in fighting. In other words,
And they killed one of the martial artists with heart.
And then Krillin tired himself out killing 2 or 3 of them.
the raw strength.
It doesn't matter because one of those Cybermen can kill everybody on the planet Earth, save for these people who are here right now,
Like
absent of martial arts.
13 people in the world.
Adrian Rusco says, "You guys are turning Mark into Sensui with how many personas you're giving him."
He's giving himself the persona.
that you're born with. However, much to their surprise, each one of the Earth's fighters defeats their respective Saibamen in one-on-one combat. Ten Shinhan, in seconds, absolutely dismantles his Saibamen with little to no effort, much to Napa and Vegeta's shock and surprise.
Pause. Yes, it's believable because these mobs are the same strength as Raditz. And these mobs just got as strong as Raditz in a year of training. But after Dragon Ball, which was like 4 or 5 years,
Has to be.
4 or 5 years, they did not get that strong. Why not? They
Especially
just didn't want
Tien.
to.
Because he was bested, Vegeta kills him mercilessly without consideration for anything beyond his ability to fight or lack thereof, citing that because he was defeated, he no longer served any purpose. Quote, "The Earthlings already defeated him. It would have been a waste of time." Even Yamcha technically possessed more than the necessary power to defeat his Saibamen. It was only when he let his guard down he was taken aback by this creature's lack of humanity, lack of self-preservation, and its immense conviction to only care about the result and not itself. Which again speaks to this
Pause.
philosophy.
Isn't that kind of what Goku did with
Yep.
Raditz?
the Saiyans have regarding
Thematically.
power. It's all that matters to them. Nothing else is important. Reflected in how.
But those aren't Saiyans. Those are the Saibamen. They're just things that follow orders. Why would you care about these things that you just planted? What is like, hey, take care of yourself, Saibamen. What is like,
Make sure you come back home.
how long do they live outside of
Is
them?
it like Miss Me Six?
Yeah, like, is it just like, oh, they only live for an hour? Do they live for a day? What do they eat? Like,
Do they eat?
do they eat? Or are they photosynthesis?
carelessly treats its own well-being. Its life is meaningless. It's just a number, a meat shield that serves a basic function: to kill, to fight.
Saibamen
to win.
take a
Because
mental
of this,
health
it stands
day.
to reason that someone like Yamcha,
Pause,
who
they're
doesn't at
plants,
all view
who
the world
cares?
this way, is taken off guard by this kamikaze play, as is every single last one of the Earth's fighters, including Piccolo, much to the joy of Vegeta, who laps up this strategic
Pause.
ploy.
Who cares? He can be wished back.
Never forget.
Who cares?
Yamcha gets a lot of mockery following this display, and honestly, it's a funny meme. But in the story, the point of the scene is to highlight that this was something none of the Earth's fighters could have foreseen coming by virtue of how they value other things beyond just...
What? Somebody dying?
Somebody sacrificing themselves, like I guess Goku did.
like Chaozu does? Not 2 episodes from now! Mark! You motherfucker! This thing is Piccolo! Mark! Come on!
winning.
Oh, they wouldn't expect him to sacrifice themselves. They're just crow heartless. Get to the thing that they need to do because
What's up, fighting?
Fighters could have foreseen coming by virtue of how they value other things beyond just winning. It could have and likely would have happened to many or any of them. Prior to this stepping up to the plate, Yamcha told Krillin that he'd go first, as he could be wished back to life given that Krillin didn't have that same luxury, being brought back in Dragon Ball arcs prior. And once the Saibaman self-destructs, Krillin reflects on this sacrifice, insinuating that this would have been him had Yamcha not been so considerate of his friend's fate. So in actuality, while this scene is remembered as yet another slip-up by Yamcha, ultimately he's taking one for the team, absorbing a blow that could have and likely would have taken each and every one of them off guard if they were in that same position. A selfless sacrifice.
I don't think it would have taken Piccolo off guard.
No.
Even if it would have, he's strong enough that I don't think it would have affected him. Let's say that they're around roughly equal strength, that they're fighting Yamcha and Saibaman. Saibaman blows up, it kills Yamcha. It would have hurt Piccolo, but I don't think it would have killed him.
I don't even think Piccolo would have let himself get locked in arms and legs wise. I think he would have been able to power out strength wise. Maybe even Tien.
And one that draws out of Krillin, the Earth's secret power. Missing
Kamehameha
one
can do
lunges
that?
at Gohan, who despite what he just saw is totally frozen. All this training, all this preparation, all this anticipation, and he freezes.
Yamcha have his 1W.
Piccolo demonstrates his ability and watchful eye of Gohan by quickly disposing of this remaining Saibaman. And while also a wonderful demonstration of
Mouth
what Yamcha
beam.
taught him with his sacrifice, it is also our first indication that unlike his father, Gohan is not ready for this. Not even close. However,
Yes,
this
it's
doesn't
his
stand out too
first
much.
battle, and he's scared
And he's
because
5.
he just saw somebody get killed for the first time. Not the first time. He saw his dad get killed.
No,
No,
he
he was
didn't.
knocked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just saw somebody get killed.
At this point because, well, everyone is taken off guard and paralyzed by what takes place next.
Hey, is he powering up?
What do you mean?
Aren't they the heart and the soul and
What
the
do you
body
mean?
and the mind?
Yeah,
And
but
they're the power they are from birth. They shouldn't be
no, even stronger,
growing
even
power.
more perfect.
That doesn't make sense with what Mark said
Yeah, it
because
does. It makes
his
exact
power
sense.
should be where it's always at
Look
at
how
all
strong
times.
he is.
Oh, okay. Cooked.
Oh,
This
Aries
move
1
is-
says. So we have bass mark, theme mark, paneling mark, and the best one. Music mark. Gotta go, it's getting late. Happy I was here.
No, you shouldn't be. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Over in Romania,
We're almost out of here
similarly.
ourselves.
With an intensity of visual carnage to rival anything we've seen so far in the series, this scene's thematic highlight and...
All right, we're done. Legitimately, I'm.
Like, god damn, bro. This video is horrible.
We're already at 2. We could have went to the 2.5. I'm not. We're good. We're good here. 1346. Future me.
13.
3246. Oh my god. 3246. Future me. How many times can this man say thematic? How many times can this man say thematically?
How do you punch somebody's arm off?
Here, let me show you.
Yeah, that's plans to go back to that. When is that? It's got to be, because next week I'm going to Otakon. Are we doing that the following Saturday?
Yes.
Following Saturday, we're gonna do this.
So that will be August 5th.
The 5th. We're gonna continue down this path and finish this up.
Yeah, it will be a finish up.
I'm going to Otakon, so I can't next week.
What should we do something stream? Should we do something Saturday? Maybe some Among Us, maybe some Mario Party. I'll talk about it with y'all.
Nothing to do with me.
When one of the brothers got punched for Rock City Boys, their arm came off. Mark's trying so hard.
Whoever it is, they deserved it. Rock City Boys, go rap that in front of me.
Mark trying so hard to make the Saiyan sound deep, like trying to tell me a small puddle at a gas station is a swimming pool. Mark needs to take this kind of energy into advertising the series. Goku T23 stream. BD,
No.
Have you read? No, I haven't read it yet. We did a Goku T23 stream. What more can we do?
Horrible.
It was terrible.
Buster says, keep the stream going. I need to gamble. I keep losing.
That's you.
Hey, don't use up your points. How about you TTS?
Yeah, next week we'll do that, and then maybe the week after we'll do an auction stream, just as like a precursor to viewer request month. That makes a lot of sense. So the 5th we'll finish up with this, or get as close to finishing as possible, and then we'll do an auction stream, and then after that we'll start setting up for viewer request month 3 visited. There is no shove off. There is no nonsense. Since this was the last stream, I did not implement the thing I wanted to because it made no sense to do it for one. So we are just out of here.
Stop coming to these.
Stop coming
Mark
to
ones
these
in particular. It truly was demon time, wasn't it, everyone?
Here's a question I'm gonna ask you on stream right now. When we do specific things, because we do have specific
Mark
layouts,
says,
should we use
all
those
right,
layouts?
guys, back to the purgatory for me until ALX pulls me out for another Mark stream.
You guys be gone forever. Go banned forever. Like when we do a Demon Slayer, we do have that Demon Slayer layout. Should we do that, or should we just stick with the general one?
That's up to you. Because you if it's worth it for you.
I mean, it's nothing. They're already saved. I just gotta add it to XSplit instead of the one we have. It's literally it.
Yeah, I don't see why we wouldn't.
All right, yeah.
But I have it up to you.
Yep. Shove off.